When I'm not being reprimanded by traffic cops, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
The Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, empowering communities and changing lives. The Urban League has been there to serve when our community is at its lowest. It's never mattered what the crisis was. The systemic oppression remains constant for those most vulnerable. Here at the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, we'll be temporarily adjusting our hours of operation and available services. If you are in need of resources, we recommend that you give us a call at 206-461-3792. To make an appointment, press 0 and speak with the receptionist. Walk-in hours will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. And hey, we'll gladly work with you via phone as best as we can if you're exhibiting any signs of illness to assist you with information to save your home, find you a place to sleep, or connect you to job opportunities. The Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle. That's 206-461-3792.
Sergio LaCour's Love Lines. It's on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Thursday nights at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Music and dedications for the grown and sexy.
Join Rainier Avenue Radio from 5 to midnight for Sunday evening sound sessions. Jazz from the Cabinets from Big Poppy.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy.
Sergio LaCour's Love Lines.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell her who we talking to.
Sage Prince and Just My Opinion.
This is Sage, and that's just about going to do it for the first half of Just My Opinion.
K-Fox Nightbeat with Nasty Ness Rodriguez.
It's the beat of the Fox. K-Fox Nightbeat, Nasty Ness.
You know what? You're going to listen from 5 to midnight. Just turn it on and don't stop. DJ Alibaba. The Underground Surround Sound Star Time with Paul Pearson.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Pearson.
Sunday evening sound sessions on Rainier Avenue Radio. Trust me, you'll be listening the entire time from 5 to midnight. Sunday evening, your sound session on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Welcome to the Wake Up Show. It's me, Tony B, and today is actually the day. Today is Earth Day. For those of you who are joining us for the third consecutive day, welcome back. This has been a blast. We've had some phenomenal programming and just the opportunity to partner with Front and Center and the Social Justice Film Festival to, put this together has really been amazing. So I want to start off by saying that. That's just really, this has been really cool. Let me bring on Aurora. Aurora, are you there?
I'm here. I got my lucky hat on for the day. Is that crazy or what?
Welcome back.
Yes.
Earth Day. Again, if you're just tuning in and you're going, okay, I'm just figuring out what's going on here. I'm a couple days late, but you're not too late. We've been celebrating Earth Day since Tuesday, a 3-day summit of conversations, discussions, film, stories. It's been a pretty incredible 2 days, and here we are with day 3. Earth Day. If you're unfamiliar with Earth Day, it's an annual event that happens on April 22nd, which is today, to demonstrate support for environmental protection. It started on April 22nd, 1970, and it includes a wide range of events. And so Aurora and I were talking, and we said, what the heck? Why try to contain all this information in one day? We'll do a big lead up, and Aurora, just an amazing job from you and Front and Centered in really pulling people together and putting these discussions together. It's just been fantastic, Aurora.
Well, thank you so much, Tony, and I really do appreciate our partnership. And you're the one who said, well, I said, well, maybe we could do a little something. And you said, what? we're going to go big, you dig? And so I think that actually our work and our collaboration together since I think it was maybe 4 years ago with the Social Justice Film Festival and your brilliant, moderating of our post-film discussions of some really amazing documentaries and films, really just kind of planted the seed of the fact that we want to do more. We want to do more to bring conversations together with as many community members. And so this was really a wonderful opportunity, and hope that we'll be able to go from Earth Day to a launch sometime in May Day-ish, for a regular EJ talk show here.
Oh, did you just break the news?
I just broke the news. That's why I'm wearing my lucky hat, Tony.
All right. Well, we're waking everybody up, so that you can be prepared for everything that we've got coming at you today. And of course, part of this is also a quick review over, things that are happening and taking place in the world. But before I do that, I want to welcome Chris Lopez Marino to the Wake Up Show. Chris, how are you, my man?
I am. Let me. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm unmute. I'm fine. Thank you so much for having me in this show, and I am still waking up.
I am too. That's why I got my hat on.
Well, that's why we do this a half an hour prior to the time that we get going. But hey, Chris, I want to thank you. Tuesday and then again today, KQWZ FM, broadcasting everything that we're doing for this Earth Day to an audience that I think really appreciates it and needs to hear it at SeaTac. So thank you, Chris. Why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about KQWZ and yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Everything started with a radio show that was the result of thinking, what can I do for the community? My background has been in automotive for many years. So remembering that awesome show that was on the air every Saturdays in National Public Radio, I thought, since I know a little bit about cars, I can probably put together a show, but in Spanish for our brothers and sisters in Spanish that, they can maybe know how to manage this, our best friends with four wheels. So everything started with a show. I started knocking doors of many different radio stations, and nobody wanted to hear about the program. Really, they thought it was not a good idea. The radio stations in Spanish. So I finally found one that they didn't charge me an arm and a leg, for maybe being on the air. I didn't know about community radio on those days. I think on those days was like a star in all this movement of having low power FMs everywhere. And then after some time, a little group of motivated people that start coming as guests to the radio show, they get so excited. They fall in love with the experience of doing radio. And then we we retook a project online, a radio station here in Tacoma, Washington. It's called Voice Tacoma Radio Universal. And from there, being volunteer for this large organization in the state, which is One America, they apply for the license for having a low power FM. And they got the support of the people at Highland College to place the antenna there, the transmitter, but they didn't have anybody that can push the project or anybody that was in love with radio, I guess just like me. Then conversation started. Then I got in touch with Sabrina Roach and some other personalities of the radio, community radio, and they put me on the right direction to little by little, and overcoming all the challenges that technology can bring, connecting a transmitter and a mixer and all this. It was new for me. but the support of other friends from KTQA here in Tacoma, another low power FM. They were supporting us with that, and now we're on the air after almost a year of being the challenging. Then COVID restricted the access to where the antenna and transmitter is in Highline, so we have to wait for a long time. And anyway, so that's my story of how now KQWC is on the air for all our brothers and sisters then in the South King County area.
All right, and kind of describe some of the neighborhoods that you reach with your audience. I know SeaTac and I won't go into the whole thing about LPFMs, but these were created specifically to reach communities that needed, again, what we call it, their voices amplified and their narratives shared. What communities do you reach?
Des Moines, of course, all the way to the water, and I believe on the other side of the water, like part of this island, it's called Vashon Island. I see in the map where our coverage is. The signal is strong enough all the way to North Federal Way. I will say part of the valley as well, part of Ken, a little bit of Renton and Tukwila, and SeaTac, of course. I would say maybe a little part of where Buren, the city of Buren is. So it's a large and very diverse area.
That is so wonderful, Chris, because I did want to say that One America is a founding member of Front and Centered. And so we were so excited to see that you were amplifying the show.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'm proud of the work that One America has been doing for almost 20 years. They're about to celebrate their 20th anniversary. So, yeah, thank you.
Well, welcome, Chris, and we look to many more opportunities to share programming and information as we reach our audiences, and this is just great for people to be working together. Wow, awesome. Well, we're going to get this started by waking people up to what's going on, and then we're going to dive for today, but we also want to do a little recap prior to the verdict being given. Think about here, and when we talk about we're ready to celebrate, and that was even part of the discussion, is months of protests. We had talked, Aurora, we've been victims of white vigilantism where they don't wait for the courts. Guilty, not to mention the court system that was in place. But here we are again. So as we wake up today, and I want to get into this, and really this was just today, environmental justice. And I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to do that. But I want to give both of you about 30 seconds here about what your thoughts are really quickly as we're waking up today. To the realization that 2 days after the verdict of guilty, 30 minutes before the verdict, was another shooting by a police officer. Again, not necessarily getting into if you want to use your 30 seconds to say you feel it was justified or unjustified. Either way, it is a tragedy that life was lost. So I guess... Or to give me about 30 seconds of what your thoughts are in that regard.
Well, I think you summarized it and in such a pointed way. I mean, I think that the guilty verdict was a small and yet symbolic measure of accountability. Now, whether it delivered justice, that is the big question, right? Whether it delivered justice for centuries-long oppression that has been institutionalized in a legal system that got its roots in oppression and colonialism. That is what is so difficult to overcome. And so that, to me, is this sobering and seemingly, daunting challenge. And that is why I think today, as we think about Earth Day and environmental justice, it is about all our movements coming together, because that is what is necessary to reimagine justice.
Chris, you want to weigh in this really quickly?
I just want to say that many years ago, when the immigrant reform movement started, and when we were fighting for the rights for immigrants and refugees, we thought this fight was like a separate, from the fight that our brothers and sisters in the color communities they're facing, against police. It is now we discover that it's not two different problems. It's the same. I mean, the roots, the origin from the problem, which is oppression, it is the same. So today, more than other times, it is important for us to put together these two movements and fight together against this oppression. It's two problems that are coming from the same root, the same origin. So that's what I want to say.
Thank you both for chiming in on this. We are here this morning during the Wake Up Show to talk about Earth Day and the events that will be taking place today. The Earth deserves more than a day is the theme for the entire 3 days. We got a lot to talk about because there's stuff coming up today. And Aurora, I hate to rush through this, but this time goes by so fast.
I know it does.
But the whole point is to set people up for what we've got coming today, to give them a chance to wake up and get ready so that by noon we're ready to go.
That's
Fired
right.
up and ready to go. We're ready to listen. So immediately following the Wake Up Show in about 15 minutes here, Earth Day to May Day, accelerating a just transition. Let's talk about it.
Yes. Now, this is actually going to try and kind of capture what I was mentioning about the need for our movements to come together. Now, we have shown a lot about and engaged in discussions this week about the bearing witness of environmental injustice and the oppression, and we want to offer a new way of imagining justice. And this idea of accelerating a just transition is about the transition not just to a green economy, but the transition into imagining a new way of doing things, so that, as you said, the narratives of communities that are at the margins can actually be lifted up, that we talk about equitable governance, we talk about innovation and regenerative economies, we talk about renewable energy, and we also talk about dignified and equitable fair labor. So that is going to be an interesting, at least just introduction during the noon hour about what we can do to think about what does that just transition to a new world and a green economy look like.
All right. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to have our regularly scheduled program, which is Afternoons with Monique Lay. Great show. You'll want to check that out. And then following that at 1:30 will be another phenomenal show, Shattering Your Glass Ceiling with Bettina Carey. Again, another phenomenal show. And then we're going to get right back on track at 2 o'clock. And at that point, it's Resourcing the Environmental Justice Movement. Aurora.
Again, the coming together. Yes, the coming together of our different movements. I think that is definitely a conversation to tune into, because Ruby Love and Sharon Chen, our front and centered organizational strategists, will be interviewing the new and very first executive director, Jakari Harris, of the George Floyd Memorial Foundation. And so I think they're going to be talking about the fact that this week, it is an interesting week where it comes together during Earth Day, as well as the verdict in the George Floyd case, to lift up his memory and this man to think about the racial justice implications as well as the environmental justice implications of the place where it happened as well. There are so many issues to unpack, but what they're going to do is talk about how do we resource the intersectional movements and come together as one.
All right. That's big. Looking forward to that. As a matter of fact, I've already gotten some responses this morning. When does that take place? Well, don't know. Now you know. 3 p.m. today. One more again, host and guest for that show, Aurora.
Yes, environmental justice is racial justice. I'll be moderating that conversation of local conversations with Pastor Christopher of Shiloh Baptist, of Ophelia Noble, I believe, of the Southwest Communities United for Community, and the Noble Foundation, and then Sidonia Young, who is also an elder and a leader at Shiloh Baptist, and then Malando Redeemer, who is a young reverend as well as a youth leader within the NAACP Tacoma chapter, as well as youth minister for Shiloh Baptist. We're going to talk about how environmental and racial justice come together. What does that look like, especially through the infrastructure of the Tacoma Ministerial Alliance as well? Because we'll be talking about how we're helping out with the installation of solar panels on Shiloh Baptist Church, as well as the fact that what they're doing is also participating in the providing access to vaccinations as well, pop-up vaccinations to community members throughout Hilltop and other parts of Tacoma. So I think it's going to be a great conversation.
Oh, yeah. And that is at 3:00. Environmental justice is racial justice. But how do we say? But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. It just keeps going.
At 4 p.m., Intersections on Equity and Justice, Local Voices on Video.
Yes. And that is going to be a segment that I believe is a series of different film shorts that will be streamed on Rainier Avenue Radio's YouTube channel. So everybody tune in there, because we will have a variety of different stories that will be really kind of showing you what different groups in the coalition of Front and Centered are engaged in. We will have a film that was actually put together by Ophelia Noble's organization on what's happening and how they are holding the line in essentially what is a very difficult context in Southwest Washington. And they are really, a handful of brave leaders down there holding the line against, racial injustice. And then we're going to have a video by Dan Nanamkin, who heads up Young Warrior Society out of Colville Reservation, and his beautiful work to actually do a lot of educational programming for food sovereignty. And then we are also going to have a video that was produced by Familias Unidas por la Justicia. And they actually have a video that will actually describe their work with farm workers and organizing farm workers all over the state. So you'll see that this is all kind of contributing to that imagining a just transition, where we're talking about dignified labor and human rights for those who harvest and make it possible to put food on our tables, for those who are actually we're here since time immemorial. And also for the leaders like Ophelia, who are holding the line against Proud Boy country. Mm-hmm. So actually, I think it's an amazing lineup of local voices, and just a snippet of an example of the many, many courageous acts of love and justice that is happening all over the state.
All right. And for those of you old school New Jack fans, you're going to understand this phrase that comes from Teddy Riley and Guy when I say, it ain't over.
Indeed.
There's a film coming up. And again, this is one of those that we're going to give you a special link so that you can watch it just today. And that'll be your only opportunity to be able to see this. Go ahead, Aurora. Tell us what's going on.
Yes. The Condor and the Eagle, actually, I just heard from the filmmakers that they are willing to actually allow it to be on demand for the next 5 days after tonight's special event. Okay. The Condor and the Eagle is, again, another amazing documentary that really brings all these different movements of indigenous sovereignty and environmental justice issues, as well as racial justice issues, all together from the local to the national to the global level. And it is really both inspiring and overwhelming. And we're going to have a couple of the people who are in the film joining conversation with a couple of local coalition members as well. Edgar Franks, who's a leader in Familias Unidas, and as well as Bridget Ray, who is a program leader in Na'a'ilihi Fund. So they'll be in conversation together to just kind of share reflections about those connecting of the dots between local, national, and international work to actually, to really bring us together to save people and planet on this Earth Day that we are celebrating.
Wow. You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World, and as Aurora mentioned, you can also be watching on YouTube, and you can also watch on Facebook, and you can even watch on Twitch as well. And we'd like to thank all of our FM affiliates from all the way from Bellingham down to Duval and points into between. And welcome to those of you listening on KQWZ FM. Glad to have you aboard. Chris, what do you think about this lineup we've got coming up for your listeners in the today?
It's very, very exciting, and I want to watch that film, and I also want to remind our listeners that maybe if you don't have good internet signal, but you are driving in the area of South King County, SeaTac, and Des Moines, and all those areas, just turn the channel on FM 106.9 and 106.5, I'm sorry, and then you'll be able to hear all this content that is being aired at Rainier Avenue Radio. So yeah, you have different options. So thank you so much, and thank you for letting us be part of this One America Boys. We feel very, very lucky and honored to let us be part of this in celebration of Day of Earth all these 3 days.
All right.
Thank you. Can I say one last thing, Tony, about something hot off the press is that the HEAL Act, Healthy Environment for All Act, has passed both chambers of the legislature and is now to Governor Inslee's desk. Now, we are all celebrating. There were so many people involved, so many organizations involved. Front and Center is very, very happy to be part of it. And we just need the governor to sign his signature on that Healthy Environment for All Act, because it is a landmark. It is a landmark law that will actually center those most affected by climate injustice and pollution. And that means listeners like ours.
All right. Again, if you happen to be, if you're saying, oh, okay, well, I'm going to be moving around. If you're in the SeaTac, Des Moines, Kent area, lock it on to KQWZ and then rip the damn knob off. All right. And just listen for the next few hours, and you don't have to worry about touching the dial. Just keep it locked in here. We've got some great programs. We got it all. We got it all in, and I want to remind everyone again, everything that's taking place here is available on demand. Not now, right now. So if you start watching and you go, well, I missed Tuesday or I missed Wednesday, you can go back to our YouTube page at Rainier Avenue Radio. Watch everything. You can go to our Facebook page and watch everything. You can go to Twitch and watch everything. At some point here in the near future, maybe next week, we're going to have the audio to everything available on our website as well, so that you can listen audio-wise if you're driving or something, and just take a listen. So everything that we did is already archived. You can go back and watch it now, and there's our on the point producer D Money saying, look, this here it is. Whoop, there it is. You guys know I'm old school. My song things are, but anyway.
I think we're of the same generation, Tony.
We got just a minute left, but again, Chris, thank you for joining us. Thank everyone for listening. KQWZ. We look forward to more broadcast sharing and working with y'all in our community. And Aurora, I just can't say enough. I ain't gonna say we did it yet, because we have to get through today.
I know. No, I'm so grateful, Tony. And I got about 10 more ideas to run by you.
All right. You know how I am. Yes, we didn't get a chance to really recap Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm glad that we talked about what we talked about today, and so that's again why I want to remind everybody, everything that we've done is available and archived, so you can go back and take a listen. And I mean, I know there's so much to recap there, but I really enjoyed seeing the piece on Farm Queen Naima. Amazing. Again, this morning I've gotten comments about when is Ruby Love coming on. That's at 2:00 today.
Mhm.
At this point, we're going to have to get off so that people can start your noon watching. If you're watching right now, if you're listening on one of the programs, you don't have to do anything different. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you're watching, we're going to ask you to switch over and go to, again, Earth Day to May Day. I'm getting off the air right now, so y'all can go do that. Aurora, thank you. Chris, thank you. It's been a blast. We'll do it again. Have fun with everything today, everybody. That's it. That's all the time I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For Aurora and Chris, everyone, remember, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are probably right. I'm out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.